outrageous.
My time is you, actually.
Mundane.
I'd like to apologise for my misery.
And everything in between.
No, it was not enough money. It should have been 100 grand. I got 63. How dare they? I'm shortchanged.
I'm sorry, I'm not here to make seasonal girlfriends. I'm here to find the love of my life. The reason why I can't watch the show back is, for me, my experience was real. It wasn't an episode of an hour.
Winning a reality TV show has the power to change your life.
Oh, Jesus. I think we're going the wrong way. I put on my Snapchat story. I'm going travelling for 8 weeks. I've decided to leave my phone at home to cleanse myself. Everyone bought it, which was mental.
Oh, dude, just tell me I'm gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right.
But what happens when the cameras stop rolling?
Everyone thinks that once you come off a reality TV show, you're going to be living this luxury lifestyle. It's not like that whatsoever.
I'm not even a celebrity. I'm just someone that's known for being quite iconic. Come on, let's do this.
So my name is Aaron. Oops, I always do that as well.
So I'm Ekin-Su, known as the winner of Love Island 2022 Season 8, one of the most iconic seasons.
My name is Nadia, crown winner of Big Brother Season 5 in 2004.
So my name is Aaron Evans, and I won Season 1 of The Traitors.
I'm Alfie Watts, and I won BBC's Race Across the World. So this morning, before this interview, I came in from Tobago. I landed about an hour and a half ago. And then I'm heading to Budapest in about an hour and a half. I think the race just probably gave me a little bit too big of an ego.
Reality shows are all about regular people in real-life situations, whether that be on an island, a jungle, or in a fancy Scottish castle. The Family, broadcast in 1974, is widely considered to be the UK's first unscripted reality TV show.
People are going to say to you, you're the woman I saw last night.
Don't you think we're in for a lot of leg pulling?
My God, yeah.
In the early noughties, reality TV saw a boom after the success of shows like Big Brother and Survivor.
You're plotting a very dirty plan on everybody in here.
She's a bossy little crow.
She's underhand, greedy, selfish, vain.
There are things that we used to have in the 2000s that we just wouldn't have now. And like the weirder the concept, the better. They weren't so tight with things like ethics.
Shattered deprived its contestants of sleep for 7 days.
Now, the game has already begun. They're all in the lab behind me, and they've been awake for 39 hours.
And There's Something About Miriam made 6 men compete for the affections of a Mexican model, but the fact she was transgender was only revealed in the finale. Nowadays, TV is only a small part of the reality show universe. Fans can tune in to a whole host of formats, whether it be to a programme-dedicated podcast, a live commentary on social media, or even a play-it-yourself mobile game. But while more reality shows and their counterparts pop up, television viewing figures are going down. In 2002, Big Brother's average series viewership was 5.3 million people. Just over 20 years later, this has dropped to 1.7 million. Meanwhile, programmes on streaming services are setting opportunities for stars to reach unprecedented audiences with a global reach. Hundreds of thousands apply for the chance to be on a reality show every year. In years gone by, around 60,000 people have applied for The Apprentice, more than 100,000 for Love Island, and over 130,000 for The Traitors.
I never rationalize my decisions about doing it most of the time. It's always an afterthought. Why did I do this? But on a serious note, I actually remember vividly the original documentary sort of episode, and it was this Dutch sort of like a pilot, you know, when they brought in 1999. Fuck me, I'm old. Okay. And I was drawn to it. And somewhere, somehow, maybe I manifested, I don't know.
No one ever gets really approached. When people say I got approached, yes, you might be recommended, but physically you need to apply. I had a friend and she really, really wanted me to do a reality TV show because she thought I was full of drama, and in reality, my life is always full of drama.
We'd never watched it, so thank God the marketing team decided to use Instagram adverts.
I didn't actually apply for it. Someone actually reached out to me, and I tried to do some research on it because obviously it was out in the Netherlands beforehand, but we couldn't ever get the show here.
Dit is jullie huis de komende dagen en nachten.
I was working in like real estate, and that's why they originally contacted me, because I had a few like videos up. Originally I was not gonna do it. They contacted me and I ignored them for like 2 or 3 weeks.
So they were holding the interviews in Excel Centre in London, East London, and that's how I went for the audition. I'm not even gonna pretend to say that I was gonna try and be the loudest in the room, because I am actually, as a matter of fact, the loudest in any room.
I never thought I was gonna get on the show, so every time I went into the interview, I was just like, oh, just enjoy it as the process. And then I think it got to like the 5th one, and I was actually gonna pull out because I missed out on a deal, which was like, I don't know, it's a property, it was like 1.4 million. And then the guy called me up, he's like, you're not pulling out, you're literally on the show. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you're on the show. And then I was just like, okay, cool, I'll go for it.
So there was questions like, why do you think we should pick you? You know, what was your worst date you've been on? What's your type? And I'm thinking, these people are really testing me out. So I thought, I'm not gonna get through. And I just wrote answers really blunt. And, you know, I cause arguments sometimes. I'm very fiery. I've had times when I fancied someone's boyfriend and they ended up being with, you know, there's been situations where I always got what I wanted. And I think Love Island wanted that and they liked that.
Like with most TV shows, you have to put in a video application on step 1. I thought we were too young. Like this is a serious TV show. There's no way they're gonna cast 2 20-year-olds. They'd be nuts, but it worked.
Well, that was lucky.
I mean, I put on my Snapchat story, I'm going traveling for 8 weeks. I've decided to leave my phone at home to cleanse myself. Everyone bought it, which was mental. And everyone was like, are you gonna be all right? Like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, trust the process. Everything's gonna be fine. And, yeah.
Let's do a little refresher on what each of the contestants had to do to win. For Ekin-Su in Love Island, she needed to couple up with someone else in the villa and have the public vote for them as their favourite pair.
This has got to be brilliant.
Whilst Nadia in Big Brother needed to dodge eviction from the house by being a good housemate and charming the public.
Who do you think is a traitor and why?
So I'm really sorry, Aaron, but it's your name on my board.
Aaron, as a faithful in the traitors, had to determine which 3 of his fellow contestants were traitors without being murdered or voted off.
Oh no.
Oh, it feels so shit.
Yeah.
And Alfie needed to travel across Asia faster than any other team with no phone, no credit card, and a limited budget.
I was up for eviction literally every week. And it's not just the whole kind of sunken feeling and emotional sort of turmoil, but also you had to pack your own freaking bag, your suitcase. I ain't got time for that. It's exhausting.
Every single day I woke up and I was like, I'm getting eliminated, I'm getting murdered, there's no way I'm gonna make it through the day.
I didn't know I was gonna win. I didn't know I was gonna have a connection in there. I didn't know I was liked outside. I was just being me the whole time. I thought I was gonna leave the second week, if I'm really, really honest with myself.
A lot of people don't like it, but my attitude to it was the race as an entity was the only once in a lifetime thing. I can come back to Japan and visit it, but I can only win the race now.
Big Brother House, this is Sabrina!
Looking back, the only thing I can think of, it was the moment that I was applying chapstick or lip gloss. I don't know what was going on. I was using like, I don't know, it was like a mechanical robot machine. I was like going around my lips.
Nadia Almada is my favourite winner ever. And I remember like she had this crumb of lipstick in her fingers and she was like rubbing it onto her lips, like kind of hysterical. And I just like, I can still so clearly picture that in my mind, which is wild because it was 20 years ago.
Immediately, the moment I came out, someone was giving me, they were like, yeah, Nadia, I love you, here's a pack of cigarettes. I was like, yes, babe!
So I am a faithful.
You've done it! You have done it!
I mean, I think you saw I was just like breaking down, crying, screaming, jumping around everywhere. And I think we realised it was like a surreal moment because obviously from your perspective, you can see us 3, but we had 10 cameramen on the other side, and then all of like the runners and people that had been working on the show that we got really close to, and everyone else was crying as well, and Claudia was crying, and like everyone's like getting emotional, and I was just like, oh, this is actually quite a big thing.
It was like being on cloud 9, but times it by 10. You completely let go of all the insecurities, and you surrender yourself to the public, and you become in love with everyone.
Yes! Come on! Come on! Yes! Come on!
The actual winning moment is quite disappointing in my own head because we were both so relieved that it was done. We were so tired, so hungry, so finished with the whole process. I enjoyed it more watching it than I did in the actual moment because a lot of it was just relief that it was done. But just kind of spending that time with Owen was as bad often as it was good, but overridingly it was just incredible because I can't overestimate how difficult it is to spend every walking minute with one person. It is really tough.
It's quite bizarre initially to like see yourself like on TV.
You look back sometimes like kind of behind the sofa, like cringing a little bit. And the truth is that, I mean, I think I worked it out that 0.35% of filming gets aired. There's parts of it that you think, yeah, this comes across exactly how I felt. And then there's parts of it where you're like, I was on a 30-hour train ride and you just completely ignored it. And that's just a consequence of the show. I was like, oh, I didn't have any sleep for 3 days there, and you've just decided not to mention it.
I look at those little moments, little snippets of my moments in the show, and I actually look at this person, Nadia, and I think she's hilariously funny.
The reason why I can't watch the show back is, for me, my experience was real. It wasn't an episode of an hour. It was a ride, and I want to leave the memories like that. I don't want to look back and think, that person said that about me. Oh, they didn't show this scene. That stuff is just entertainment.
I think it used to be more important to win a reality show. You know, when we look back at Big Brother, I think ultimately that was a popularity contest. So people really wanted to win, and they also wanted to win the cash prize. That was the whole name of the game. But I think as time's gone on, winning just isn't as important as it used to be. Because oftentimes, just because you win doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the most successful following the show.
The moment you sit on the plane, there is a magazine with the cover of you on it, right? And people want you to sign it. They want pictures of you. You're like, what the hell is going on? You get off the plane, you go into the airport, screaming, people everywhere. Wait, what? I'm a public figure all of a sudden.
I remember in that same weekend, Vanessa, another housemate with me, we tried to go for dinner just down the high street. We had to turn around because, the fans, I guess. Sounds so stupid, but at that time, I was like, what the hell is going on? I've never experienced it in my whole life. And people were just surrounding you from every corner. Cars were, screaming out your name, honking. Was that what we call it? Honk.
I had people sending me screenshots of people having my name tattooed onto their ankles, wrists, calling their cats pets names, Ekin-Su, like going from being bullied at school to now people calling their pets and having tattooed. That was a really overwhelming feeling. And this is what they prep you in Love Island, the aftercare. They say, listen, Ekin, you need to understand that there's going to be a lot of different changes in your life in the next few months. Are you ready for this?
When you just first come off, there's like a buzz around it. Everyone's kind of watched it. Everyone's excited. You walk down the street in London and you get stopped like 20 times, asked for pictures. But like at the same time, like I'm just a normal guy at the end of the day. Like it's not gonna, like it didn't really like change me that much. I knew, within a few months I was gonna go back to like doing a normal job or going back to normal life.
My friends have a joke of calling me a regional celebrity, which I think probably sums it up quite well. Race Across the World isn't the show that you go on to get famous. It's not the show that you go on to become a top tier influencer or anything like that, because the audience aren't engaged in that way. But my social media has grown from that, and it's changed the way that I earn money. Like I got recognised on the plane this morning.
Getting catapulted into stardom isn't easy. There have been long-standing concerns about the impact reality TV shows can have on both cast and crew. Over the years, we've seen hostile environments provoke emotional distress and watched as contestants face bullying and harassment. In 2019, following the deaths of guests from The Jeremy Kyle Show and Love Island, the government launched an inquiry into production companies' duty of care to participants. Then in 2020, Ofcom issued new rules to make sure people taking part in TV programmes were better looked after by broadcasters.
I felt like I needed the help after Love Island, and they provide really good care. I had psych sessions.
When you appear on a reality show, you're not just appearing on the reality show. Your social media is going to get scrutinised. People are going to start looking into your history. It's a whole 360 of your life now is like up for consumption.
I kind of just let it go. I know that it comes wherever I go now, and if there's this hot topic, there's going to be paparazzis there wanting to catch you out, or after a night out, or if you're seeing someone, you know.
It was a big whiplash at the time, it was. I became desensitized to it, but people around me noticed that I still have that kind of presence wherever I go. The moment they hear my voice, I know you. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just one of those faces, babes.
We're very quick to judge people on reality shows while also forgetting the ways that we've behaved in our own lives. You know, if someone had a camera on us all the time, there'd be plenty of moments that we'd be embarrassed about, which is difficult, I'm sure, for the people, because they're just being like human.
What's fame without fortune?
I can pay my council tax.
An undeniable draw of going on many reality shows is the prize, ranging from true love to business deals to life-changing sums of money. In the early noughties, winners of big shows like Survivor and Big Brother could bag cash prizes anywhere between 70,000 and £1 million. These days, most winnings are still in the same range, apart from some top prizes, which go all the way up to over £3.5 million.
It was the best series thus far, and it was the least amount of prize money. Figure that one out. I actually maybe was an accomplice, a culprit in actually losing some of the, winning money. Yeah, if we misbehave, we get the, money deducted. So we misbehaved all the time.
I can tell you now, I haven't got any of it. So me and Owen both won £10,000 on Race Across the World. So total prize pot's 20k, and that gets split evenly between us. I mean, I've been to about 28 countries since Race Across the World, so it's completely gone on travelling. I think my accountant kills me when he sees my flight bills, because it's my only expense.
So the cash prize was £50,000. So we had to share that, so that's £25,000 between me and my ex. The sort of transaction of like the £25,000 going in your account happens after 2 nights. You know, I've never had that much in my account. And for me, I didn't want to touch it. I've not spent it. It's like in a savings bit. Well, I've added obviously more onto it, but I don't want to touch it. It's like a memory for me.
So we don't get the cash straight away. I got paid, I think you get paid half of it a month after the show finishes. And then I remember keeping it in my bank account for a while, and then I went out for a couple of meals, and I was like, I can't spend any of this money, so I ended up sending that to Mum. And then when the show finished, and then you get the other half a month later after that. And then again, spent a bit of the money, and then gave the majority to Mum. Yeah, I think it was like £32,000.
I am known for being a big spender. I loved having credit cards. I had 20 grand debt before going on the show. So immediately I paid that off. So I was left with 40 something grand. I went crazy with wanting to buy things that I didn't necessarily need it. But when you come from nothing and you already have a distorted view of what, the value of money, I just went crazy.
Each reality star can have a totally different career trajectory.
I think we forget that so many of the people on our TV screens are from reality shows. You know, think about like Ryan Clark, Alison Hammond, Josie Gibson. I mean, you look on everyone on TV, you forget that they probably were in a reality show. Even like Harry Styles, like you forget he did actually come from a reality show. It used to be that you would leave a reality show and then you'd do like a photo shoot in OK magazine or something, or Hello, and then maybe after a few weeks you'd people would forget who you are and then just move on to the next reality show. Whereas now your fame will continue for weeks, months, and then years, to such a point that it blooms outwards from the initial reason that you were ever on the screen.
I remember leaving the show and having a paper clipboard with my manager, and he had 2 long lists of brand deals that wanted to work with me. Like a full list of TV shows, like so much to pick one, and we were so limited because then I had no free days left.
I have a single, you know, Euro pop, Euro trash, whatever. I'm all-encompassing, you know, it's very diverse. I did theatre, I've done TV, I've done a lot of other reality TV shows, and I'm not done yet.
I kind of like saying yes to a lot of opportunities that come my way. I did Mastermind and I absolutely flopped it. I think I'm the first person ever to score 0 on my own subject.
What's the common name, sometimes abbreviated to the letters GPO, of the largest known octopus species, Enteroctopus delphini, which, with its limbs outstretched, can span 20 feet?
Great Pacific octopus.
No, it's giant Pacific octopus.
The subject on Mastermind was cephalopods, but this isn't my story, right? So, I asked for David Attenborough because I love David Attenborough, watch every single one of his series. And they said to me, no, you can't do that. Someone else has done it. Why don't you go down the kind of like the route to do like animals or like sea creatures? And I was just like, yeah, right, let's do it then. And they came up with like seahorses originally. Then it went to cephalopods, and I just like, yeah, I'll just agree to it. It's fine. Like, it's not that big a deal. And I only finished the book the day before I went on the show. And I've got ADHD, I don't remember anything. So I went on the show, I was like, I do not remember a single thing. I just sat there and he just pummeled questions at me and I was like, oh, for God's sake.
The Brit has arrived. I'm definitely a mama's boy.
And then I recently just came off of like Love Island USA. I'm not trying to throw any shade on like Love Island at all, but there are producers on the show specifically there to push you or challenge you or guide you or encourage you to do certain things, and you're not really left up to like your own devices. So that was a completely different element with which I've never experienced before, going on all these other TV shows. Just some of the things that they do to you is, I wouldn't say is like morally very correct, is probably the way I'd go about it.
A lot of good things came from Love Island. I've pretty much done a lot of TV shows now.
I'm not saying you're a traitor, I'm just saying you're speaking very fast. And you've just spilled your drink.
I will tell you one thing, I do not regret any single show I've done, ever, because everything has taught me something, and I'm grateful for them. And some might have not been the best, but I've learned from them, and I'm growing, and I'm so much better from the experience I had.
I knew that off the back of Race Across the World, I had 6 months where, you know, I'd have, I guess, a platform to, you know, before I had a full-time job. So it was always my aim to start up my own football charity programme. I don't intend to stop, but what I do intend to do is use the platform for benefit, because I genuinely don't think enough people come off TV and use it for benefit. At the minute, I'm not big enough to be able to put that message out on a wide scale, but if one person listens, then that's enough for me.
People think being a reality show is fast, almost like a fast fashion thing where it's, you're there and you've forgotten. It's up to you and how well you do and what you do afterwards. And you have to work hard.
I'm in a completely unpredictable environment. You know, TV and media is totally fluctuant. What I have today could be gone tomorrow.
Everyone thinks that once you come off a reality TV show, you're going to be living this luxury lifestyle, you're going to be driving around in these expensive cars and like living in a mansion, and everything's going to be easy from now on. It's not like that whatsoever. You just come off the show, it was a crazy experience, and then you kind of just go back to like normal life.
The advice I would give myself, residual checks. Where are my residual checks from 20 years of history? It's everywhere. Do I get a cent from it? No, I do not. Someone is making some money out of it.